guys, that was very intense, guys. I did not expect a lot of things in that episode. I did not even expect from what just happened. I would never thought of that last Sunday, guys. That was absolutely an amazing episode. I will give that episode probably a 10 out of 10, if at the least a 9 out of 10. That was an amazing episode. And the thing that stunned me the most, guys, from watching the episode is, what do Cersei plan to do? Because the episode first started, everybody had like a family reunion. Bronn and Tyrion met again. Tyrion, Podrick, the Hound and Brienne, and it's like, what does this mean? That everybody's reuniting to fight the dead. Everybody is focused on one prize right now. It's not about the Seven Kingdoms. It's about fighting the dead, staying alive and fighting the dead. And I think for that episode, I feel like it was a lot of forged alliances. You know, like people becoming friends to fight one thing. You know, maybe not friends, but people becoming allies to fight one common enemy, and that's the Night King. Also, I want to go into the next thing, saying that why didn't Cersei kill Tyrion? Now, a lot of people can say, she had a plan. She had a plan the whole time. She had a plan to play Daenerys so she could take back the Seven Kingdoms. But the thing that I'm stressing is, she could have killed Tyrion and still went out there and said, hey, I'll fight with you. You know what I'm saying? Or not even that. The fact that she could have killed her brother, Jaime. Like, Jaime was right there in front of the mountain. Why did she kill him? And I'm feeling that maybe that now, one thing we didn't see is Cersei do have a heart. You know, maybe it's not as big as most humans, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a little cold, but she do have a heart. And I think for her family, she do love her family. And she know that Tyrion somehow deep down kind of love her, and she know Jaime is in love with her. But Jaime, one thing I have to say about Jaime has some type of, I feel like Jaime have some type of honor, you know, and I think that showed today's episode that he made a promise to go fight alongside Daenerys and Jon Snow. He made a pledge to do that. And even though he broke one oath before by killing the Mad King, I feel like he still has some type of honor and decency to him. He's finally seen, like, having that good side come out of him, which came and showed throughout the entire Game of Thrones collection. He would have times where he's bad and evil, but he had times where he just is just a good person, you know what I'm saying? Just a good person. And I think that's what Tyrion see him. He's just a good person. You know, he made bad mistakes, but he's just a good person. In this episode, we finally discovered who is the true heir to the throne. And that'll be Rhaegar's son, Jon Snow. Well, that's not his name anymore. His name is Aegar. But Daenerys and Jon Snow finally, you know, made love. It was tension building up. You know, they was sexually frustrated is the word I'm looking for. But they finally made love. And what does that mean now? That Jon Snow is the rightful heir to the throne. You know, the bastard from Winterfell, something that not a lot of people would expect back in season 1. You know what I'm saying? Something that no one would even think of. The bastard of Winterfell is now the heir to the throne. And now the bigger question is, we saw the fall of the wall. We saw the Night King and his dragon destroy part of the wall. And right before that, we saw Jon Snow and Daenerys having sex. So is Jon Snow prepared for this? Is he ready for the war that's coming? Because Winterfell is not that far away from the wall. Is Jon Snow ready to take on an army of 100,000 with giants and a dragon? I mean, it's gonna be a long war, guys. This season 8 has a lot in store, and I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be perfect. This season right here, guys, is probably my favorite season of all time. What's going on in Winterfell? So we saw today in this episode that Sansa and Littlefinger was at the beginning was conspiring to kill Arya. Other things in Game of Thrones, we try to predict, but our predictions be way off. Arya's gonna get killed by Sansa and Littlefinger, or Arya's trying to kill Sansa. We predict what not gonna happen because the unpredictable always come out. And today in this episode, I really believe that they was gonna kill Arya. I really believe that Sansa felt threatened, and we know what Sansa's capable of when she feels threatened. You know, Sansa. I feel like Sansa has become a powerful woman, just the underdog in the situation. You know what I'm saying? She's not the Daenerys and she's not the Cersei, but she has the power that they have. And I feel like she's kind of like exploring that. Like she's understanding, hey, I can be this powerful woman just like these other two women, you know? And in today's episode, Littlefinger tried to play with her mind and say, hey, listen, your sister is playing. She's trying to become the Lady of Winterfell. And we saw the confrontation between where Arya came in the room and they closed the door behind her. She said, well, you know, let's get on with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and kill me. And at the last second, Sansa turned everything over to Littlefinger, and they ended up killing him at Arya's hand. You know, Arya was the executioner. You know, and the irony behind all of that is just what shocks me the most. Another thing I want to talk about that I thought was very important for this episode, and very important for the next season to come, is Theon breaking out of his shell. We saw Theon as throughout the whole Game of Thrones series as he came to be this weak and fragile man that was once, you know, great. You know, not excellent, like great, but was once important, once somebody, you know what I'm saying? Once somebody, now he's really just, you know, taking the back seat. He's really a nobody. And we saw him break out of his shell. We saw him break out of his shell and become what we once thought Theon to be in maybe season 1 and 2, you know what I'm saying? And for Theon, does this mean that he's finally becoming Theon again and not Reek? You know? He's claiming he's going to save his sister. He's going to free his sister. And she saved him, now it's his turn to save her. And I feel like he's going to be led down the wrong path because, one, his uncle is not at the Iron Islands like he said he was going to be. He's going to Essos to pick up the Golden Army. And what does that mean now that Cersei has that big army and nobody is there to fight her? Because everybody's got their attention to turn towards the Night King. But one thing I always found out from Cersei, she always have a plan. She always have a plan, and she always, I'm telling you guys, she's always, I forgot what I was gonna say. She's always stand above the ashes. See, people fall, but she's still there. Same with Daenerys. And so I feel like at the very end, it's gonna come down to queen versus queen. I feel like Night King, Night King is gonna take a lot out of him. We don't know what's happening next season. Next season, the last season, guys. The Night King, he's coming. He's the underdog. He's the third person in this show. It's not just queen versus queen no more. It's queen versus the Night King. And that's next season. We're going to see the fallout of everything that happened, guys. Everything that built up to this very moment is going to come out next season, guys, next year. And I hope you guys be there to watch it, man. And let me just say, I'm glad Jon Snow and Daenerys, I'm glad they finally became one, even though that's kind of nasty. Just like Cersei and Jaime. But another thing, guys, now that Jaime left, does that mean him and Brienne? Who knows?